There could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark.
Basketball has been my life for the past year, and now I feel like it's the right time to step back and reflect. My college career ended so quickly that I barely had time to process it before jumping straight into the WNBA, doing everything I could to help my team get to the playoffs. But now it feels like something has to change. Caitlin Clark just made a huge announcement, and the basketball world is buzzing. She's leaving the WNBA and heading to Europe. The WNBA is now scrambling. Should we be surprised? From the sounds of this interview, it seems like she'll likely make more money playing in Europe's EuroLeague than she did in the WNBA. Caitlin shook the league to its core, breaking attendance records and bringing in more fans than ever. But even with all her success, the league didn't give her the support she deserved. So Caitlin decided enough was enough and made the move. Let me explain why this is such a big deal. Caitlin Clark, the face of the WNBA in 2024, has officially decided to leave the league. She's not joining another team. She's heading overseas. When this news broke, it sent shockwaves across the internet. After an incredible rookie season, where she dominated the court game after game, it felt like she had the entire basketball world at her feet. But behind the scenes, things weren't as perfect as they seemed. The WNBA thrived on her success, but when it came to supporting her, they fell short. Caitlin faced intense physical defense throughout the season and didn't hold back in voicing her frustrations. She told reporters she felt like she was getting hammered and people were getting away with things they shouldn't have. These weren't just tough plays, they were dangerous elbows, headshots, and even eye pokes. What did the refs do? Almost nothing. Fans and commentators started wondering if fouls had been canceled for the season. It wasn't just the physical abuse either. Caitlin also dealt with racial harassment. Being a white player in a predominantly black league put her in an uncomfortable spotlight. Players and fans made racially charged comments, and the WNBA stayed silent. No statements, no investigations. Caitlin wasn't just fighting tough defense on the court. She was battling a toxic environment, and the league didn't seem to care. By the end of the season, Caitlin had had enough. Now she's headed to Europe, where her talent will likely be treated with the respect it deserves. The WNBA is left reeling, and it's hard to see how they'll keep fans excited. Sure, players like Breanna Stewart and Aya Wilson are great, but they haven't captured the same magic Caitlin did this season. Meanwhile, there's even more shocking news. A WNBA legend has been caught red-handed scheming against Caitlin Clark in the Rookie of the Year race. Until now, no one knew which seasoned player had gone out of their way to pay off a reporter to vote against Clark. But now, there's concrete evidence, and it's about to be exposed. Caitlin Clark almost had a unanimous vote for Rookie of the Year, minus one vote. Angel Reese received one first-place vote. What's even more surprising is that this player might be someone you've been rooting for all season, thinking she was a true icon. While Caitlin was dominating the court, this legend was quietly fuming with jealousy. And now it turns out she may have been working behind the scenes to make sure Clark didn't get the recognition she deserved. To make things worse, there's even a voter supporting Angel Reese. It's possible someone cast votes for both MVP and Rookie of the Year with Reese in mind. Why? Because while this so-called icon took years to develop her game, Caitlin came in and stole the spotlight in just one season. And here's the kicker. On the very day Caitlin Clark signed her European deal, this legend was celebrating the biggest WNBA title of the year. Coincidence? Maybe not. So we've got somebody out there casting votes for Angel Reese. I say somebody, but it could have been one person who voted for Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year and another person who voted for her for MVP. Let's be real, if any rookie deserved every single vote, it was Caitlin Clark. So what happened? Why didn't she get all the votes? Turns out, Caitlin grabbed 66 out of 67 votes for Rookie of the Year. That's a near-perfect sweep. The votes came from 43 national sports writers and 24 local journalists across various WNBA markets. So how did that one rogue vote slip through? More importantly, why? This isn't just about someone trying to be different. That one vote felt like a sucker punch aimed directly at Caitlin Clark's near-perfect season. It was a deliberate move to make sure she didn't walk away with a spotless record. Here's where things get interesting. This wasn't just a random shout-out for Angel Reese. This was someone trying to sabotage Caitlin's Rookie of the Year sweep. But who was behind it? No, it wasn't Cheryl Swoops. She doesn't even have the power to vote in this competition. The truth is, that rogue vote came from journalist Cameron Duncan, and it sent shockwaves through the WNBA community. Why did Duncan vote for Reese? Sure, Reese had decent stats, but she wasn't even close to Caitlin's record-breaking season. What was going on? Rumor has it that WNBA superstar Aya Wilson allegedly had something to do with it. That's right, the same Aya Wilson who's been racking up trophies like nobody's business. But why would a player of her caliber get involved in something as petty as a Rookie of the Year vote? Here's where things take a wild turn. In 2024, Aya Wilson made history by becoming the first player since Cynthia Cooper in 1997 to win the MVP award unanimously. All 67 votes went to her, making her the only player in modern WNBA history to pull off a unanimous MVP win. That's a huge deal. Now, when Caitlin started stacking up Rookie of the Year votes, Wilson allegedly stepped in. She didn't want Caitlin to accomplish something she never did, a unanimous Rookie of the Year win. This wasn't just about competition, it was about legacy. Wilson wanted to make sure Caitlin didn't steal the spotlight. And that's where Duncan came into play. His vote for Reese wasn't a random act. It was part of a bigger plan. Wilson's move was all about protecting her legacy, not because Reese was more deserving. Let's face it, she wasn't. But to block Caitlin from getting that perfect, unanimous Rookie of the Year title. It was a power play, plain and simple. As for Angel Reese, she was caught in the middle, her name used as a distraction. Her stats were good, but nowhere near Rookie of the Year material. Reese got some unearned attention, Duncan took the backlash, and Wilson got to sit back and pretend she had nothing to do with it. But here's the kicker. People are connecting the dots now. Wilson's little scheme is unraveling, and everyone in the league is watching. The drama didn't stop there, though. Critics like Molly even chimed in, claiming Caitlin wasn't talented enough to call out Aya. Really, Molly? Caitlin drops nearly 20 points a game, but now she's suddenly not good enough to speak up? This whole situation wasn't just about Caitlin missing a unanimous vote. It was a message. Aya Wilson is still the queen, and anyone trying to challenge her is going to learn quickly who's really running the show. Caitlin's Rookie of the Year win may have a blemish, but that one vote exposed some serious league politics and egos. Fans are outraged, and the WNBA's credibility just took a massive hit. What else is going on behind the scenes? One thing's for sure. The drama isn't over yet. What makes this situation even worse is the WNBA's complete lack of response. No official statements, no investigations, just silence. It's like they're hoping the whole thing will blow over and people will forget. But the fans won't forget, and neither will Caitlin Clark. When a unanimous Rookie of the Year win is stolen right in front of everyone, it's not just Caitlin who loses. It's the whole sport that suffers. For Aya Wilson, while she may have managed to protect her unanimous MVP record, her reputation might not make it through this unscathed. If the full truth ever comes out, you might have thought Aya was just being competitive, right? She's been through the struggles, fought her way to the top, and knows what it's like to work for recognition. But this isn't just about competition or rivalry. There's something much uglier at play here: racism. Caitlin wasn't up against tough defense on the court. She was fighting an environment that didn't treat her fairly. And the WNBA, by staying silent, is allowing this toxicity to grow. If we want to see real change, it's going to take more than just ignoring the problem. If you think this is something worth talking about, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.